The purpose of this assignment is to create a documentary that can be used in classrooms to promote multiculturalism and appreciation for diversity. In classrooms today, unexamined cultural assumptions can create a type of cultural conflict. This includes, but isn't limited to, racism, stereotyping, and misconceptions about a culture other than your own. One way we can work to solve this problem is recognizing our own misgivings about other cultures. By educating ourselves and our students on what stereotypes are, we can lessen the frequency of these cultural conflicts. LGBT students have always struggled to view their schools as a safe place. Part of the reason for this is many teachers don't feel comfortable or prepared to discuss topics like homophobia, compulsive heterosexuality, or gender equality in their classrooms. One way we can fix this is by starting a conversation between students, parents, and teachers about the harm that comes from homophobia and compulsive heterosexuality. By erasing the stigma that is attached to the topic of sexual orientation, teachers and parents can work together to make every classroom a safe space for LGBT students. Gender differences in schools affect students and teachers alike. Students are faced with stereotypes that coincide with their assumed gender, while teachers face criticism for not making the learning environment equitable for all. One way we can work to fix this is to encourage every student and teacher to recognize that gender is a social construct that has no real weight in anyone's potential for success. Eliminating ideas such as reading is uncommon for boys or girls shouldn't be interested in sciences opens the door for equality and frees teachers to encourage equality in their classrooms. Children who come from lower-income families often struggle in school, showing itself in many different forms, from not having the right school supplies or not having a clean uniform, all the way to not being able to afford their lunch. One way we can work to fix this is by implementing programs designed to help children living in poverty, having donation bins for used school uniforms or supplies, educating students on shelters and food pantries near them, as well as actively fighting against the stigma of poverty can increase the overall success of lower-income students.
When there is a lack of peace in a student's home, often they will bring that hostility to school with them. Sometimes, students are not taught at home how to respect differences or are even encouraged by negative opinions that their parents may share. This can cause hostility within the classroom and make for a difficult learning environment. Encouraging children to understand and appreciate differences will create a much more loving and accepting environment for all students. Enforce rules on bullying, making the classroom a safe zone for your students, and refuse to tolerate any form of bullying. Teach your students how to resolve conflict in a healthy way rather than through anger or judgment. Respect is absolutely necessary in order to maintain a healthy classroom environment. Without respect, success is impossible for both the students and the teacher. This respect can go both ways. It is important to establish rules of respect in your classroom to ensure that your students see you as a figure of authority. It is also important to set expectations for respect between students. Teaching the right way to talk to fellow classmates and encouraging a healthy amount of group work can help this. Lastly, it is important to respect your students too. This can be done through understanding the needs and values of your students and giving them the support that they need in order to achieve their goals. Religion has played a very controversial role in the classroom for many years. Some argue that there is no place for religion in school. Some argue that there should be more. The best way to teach religion in schools is from the most unbiased position. Instead of teaching one religion over the others, give time to each religion during your studies. Teach religion as a part of cultural studies. Oftentimes, the textbooks and materials used in classrooms favor or relate more to one culture, the majority culture, over the others. This can cause difficulties for students of minority cultures because they may simply just not understand the examples or references being used. To prevent this from happening, teachers can use culturally responsive teaching to create a learning environment that is inclusive of all students. An example of culturally responsive teaching would be changing the story of a math story problem to better fit the experiences of the students.